Look at the screen in front of you. This is Connor DeMonte, wanted for murder in Canada. Now, he was caught in Puerto Rico October 2022, and he's been fighting extradition for 2 years. He finally gave up and he's going back to Canada. This man, okay, has been on the run for 13 years from the Canadian government. Now, what makes this case unique? There's a couple different things why I am talking about this, and I just want to show certain things about Canada, because a lot of times people think Canada is a bed of roses, but Canada is not a bed of roses. Canada is it's a quasi-communist welfare police gang state. Okay? Quasi-communist welfare police gang state. In every major city you go in Canada, there are gangs, and there is major welfare, and in these areas, that's where most of the immigrants them turn gangs and team up with white boy. But I don't want to detract from this. I am going to play a little clip from a news media, and then I want to talk about about 2 or maybe 3 specific things, and I don't want to put a racial connotation to this, but in the Canadian system, you see the black gangster them, they get treated different than the white boy gangster them. That's all I'm saying. Now listen to this.
From behind prison walls in Puerto Rico, accused killer Connor Vincent DeMonte tells Global News he's now standing down from further legal challenges, and he's looking forward to returning to British Columbia for a fair trial. I left Canada 13 years ago, not to avoid trial and run from this allegation, but to escape certain threats, putting the lives of my young children and family in extreme danger, writes DeMonte. Extradition to Canada now imminent after more than a decade on the run. The Canadian fugitive charged with first-degree murder in 2011 for the killing of rival gangster Red Scorpion Kevin LeClaire. DeMonte also charged with 1 count of conspiracy to murder the Bacon brothers. DeMonte, the leader of the UN gang, said RCMP.
Do you hear how violent this young man crime is? And that is in Canada, There is tons of killing like this that's going on in Canada. Now, you see, he's on the run 13 years, and did some of the most violent crime. Now, there's another part in this news clip that I want to play, and I'm gonna elaborate on that, just to show how Canada is. Canada is a fuck-up country, dog. Me nah lie.
For 2 years, DeMonte fought extradition to Canada. His public defender in Puerto Rico arguing there was a lack of evidence. In addition, 3 former gang members turned Canadian Crown witnesses had serious credibility issues. The total sum witness 2 is expected to have received is a jaw-dropping $400,000.
Now, that's what more elaborate on. Canada is filled with informers, and you hear much money the police paid informer number 2 in this guy's case. $400,000 them pay. Them have 4 informer on this young man, in the case over the years. Because you see the Canadian police, they're like Scotland Yard. And they say the FBI is best, is one of the best. But the Canadian police, they'll hunt you and hunt you and hunt you and hunt you till you have to give up yourself to blow out. You understand? This guy here, 4 key witness in his case, the police them, pay the man them, big money. One of them got 400,000. I want to point this out about Canada. You understand? Now, one more thing I'm going to point out to you guys. Don't be surprised if this guy here, when he goes to Canada, in BC to do his trial, he might just get a slap on the wrist. You understand? Because these white boys up there in Canada, they know how to work the system compared to the black youths them. If this was a black kid or a black man, let me tell you something. This man would be lost in the system. He wouldn't even, they would have just get him, they would have tried him in absentia and throw his ass in a jail, and he would probably be in the Millhaven Penitentiary for the rest of his life. This guy here, he's setting it up so when he goes back to Canada, you understand, he can manipulate the system the way how the white boy them know to do it and get out of jail. Listen, this, what he's doing, support what I'm talking about. Listen to this.
DeMonte reinventing himself in a foreign land under the alias Johnny Williams. Over the last decade, I have lived a quiet, productive life, working hand in hand with politicians and community leaders. I am particularly proud of my work in law reform related to the protection of agriculture. DeMonte dedicating his days to volunteering for a honeybee charity and now teaching English in prison. DeMonte.
Now, when you see all the things that he did, he was working with charities, working with politicians for honeybee charity, doing all sorts of philanthropy work in Puerto Rico, You understand? And he's also teaching math in prison. So by the time he gets back to Canada, I bet you guys, because I'm going to follow up this case, I bet you that this white boy here, he's going to get a slap on the wrist, or might even win in case, because they know how to manipulate the system different than the black people them. You see the black people them over there, and the black guys them don't know nothing. Them don't take time to understand Canada, understand the laws, understand the system. What them do? Them come in like wild animals. If you don't believe me, look over there in Jane and Finch, the most gang infested place in Jane and Finch might have more gang than LA. The only reason why it mean that, it's because it's a smaller place. But if it was the size of like New York or LA and them place, they could have probably have just as many gangs. And when you drive into Jane and Finch, you would see a different traffic sign. Well, one of the traffic sign is a gun sign, meaning that there is gun over there. So be careful. You understand? And that's how it is. So, before I go, I'm going to round this up. This white boy killed another man in our gang. He was in the UN gang. He killed a man in the Scorpion gang. He was also charged with conspiracy to murder 2 brothers in another gang, the Butcher's brothers. He got charged and cut to America, to Puerto Rico, been living there for 11 years, been on the run for 13. In his case, you have 4 informants, and one of them here get as much as 400,000. So we know that the police them in Canada, they pay these white boy informers, you understand, big money to inform, you understand. And I know of one black guy in Canada, and I'm not calling him, but people used to say he's an informer and him work with the police. And remember me tell you, as an informer, the man was a bottom feeder. If that was a white boy I inform, I bet you that white boy they would have rich and I get big money. And that's how Canada is. You understand? Very, very, very scary place when it comes to the mob, the criminals and stuff. Lots of stuff going on. Lot of it is very quiet. But me, countryman, me I go wake it up for now. Listen, let me know what you think about this video. My name is Countryman. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on another video. I'm out.